Thank you for having me. Thank you for making this possible. I want to thank you guys for everything that you're doing to make this happen and have me here to see you. And I just want to say hello, everyone. How are you today? Are you good? Wave your hands if you're feeling well. I can kind of see in the auditorium. I can see you. I can see if the hands are moving or not. I think so. Anyway, that's what I want to talk to you a little bit about today, because we are still, coming off of Active Aging Week and want to talk about being active and moving and exercising and moving your body and taking care of yourself in that way, because our bodies were made to move. And it's so important that we keep on moving, never ever stop moving. And I know that you have an amazing, amazing program there. And I got to meet Marsha and Eric and their crew, and you've got a lot of support and you've got a lot of programs that you can join. And I want to encourage you to do whatever you enjoy in order to move. People think sometimes when they decide to exercise and start an exercise program or do an exercise program that they have to force themselves to do things that maybe they don't like to do or that are really hard for them to do. And it's really not the case. It's just so important that you move your body. And actually, it's important that you move your body in a way that it feels good for you at the level of fitness that you are at a particular time in your life. So you may find that you're feeling a little bit tight. You may find that, stretching is something that's a little bit hard for you to do. And then I would suggest stretch easily and gently in a way that feels good to your body. And as you do so, you'll increase your flexibility over time. If you want to start a cardio routine and you want to walk, I recommend that you don't try to walk, a half a mile your first day. Walk, down the street a little bit and come back. Walk until you feel tired and come back. And the next day, do the same until eventually you'll be able to do a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And again, I am sure that I'm speaking to the choir, because the few of you who are here showing up are probably the ones who are also showing up to all the exercise activities as well. But I want to encourage you to continue on, never stop, keep moving. If you find that one exercise starts to not feel right for you, talk to the people. You have amazing, amazing professionals there who can help you. They can guide you and give you some other ideas of things that you can do, because it's just so important to continue moving. Never, ever stop moving. Why do we want to move? I want to talk a little bit about why we want to exercise. There are so many benefits to exercising and moving our body. And the first is obvious, it's good for our body to move. We want to keep our muscles warm. We want to keep our muscles in shape. We want to keep them, that old adage that says, if you don't use it, you lose it. It's true. If we stop moving, if we stop exercising, we begin to atrophy, and then it just becomes so much harder to do. And I want to encourage you that if you've been through a period in your life where maybe for a while you haven't moved a lot, especially now we're coming out of this quarantine, and a lot of people were, stuck at home, and, a lot of people haven't been exercising the way we used to. I want to encourage you that, even if it feels hard at first, just do what you can. Just step into it a little bit at a time and do what feels good. Find what you enjoy. It's so important to enjoy the exercise, because when you enjoy it, you're going to show up every day. You're going to show up on a regular basis. It's not going to be something that you think, oh, I dread this. Oh, how many times have you started an exercise routine and you thought, a week in, like, oh, I have to do this? I mean, I've done that to myself numerous times. I remember at one point I was, on this kick to lose weight, and I decided I was going to get up every day I was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get to the gym by 5 so that I can swim and do weight training and get ready to go to work. And some days I was working from 9 until 9 o'clock at night. And then I would come back. And by the time I got, I unwound, I got ready for bed, I really was burning the candles at both ends. And I was exhausted, I was miserable, and I just didn't want to show up. So that's not the right way to do it. The right way to do it is to find a time, especially, here's another thing, find a time that your body feels good moving. We all have different times. Some people are morning people, some people are afternoon people, some people are evening people. My body personally prefers late morning. I don't like too early in the morning. I do when I have to get up at 6 and do my thing, but I love when I can exercise at 9 or 9:30 in the morning. That's just perfect for me. But get to know what time your body likes to move and honor that too. Honor the time of the schedule of your body. And take walks, go outside in nature. There are so many different things we can do to exercise. You can exercise from your chair, you can exercise in bed. When I wake up in the morning, I love to stretch, and it actually helps me wake up. As I stretch in my bed, I kind of feel the blood starting to flow a little bit better, because sometimes you just still feel so groggy when you wake up in the morning, and it's hard to just hard to pop right out of bed. So I do these gentle stretches, and it feels so good. And every movement counts. I want to encourage you, every movement counts. So often we think it doesn't count, so maybe why bother do it? It only counts if you're at the gym, or it only counts if you're doing your half an hour of weight training or cardio or yoga or Pilates or whatever it is that you're doing, or dancing. But every movement counts, and I would encourage you just to move your body wherever you are on a regular basis. So from your chair, you can move, you can roll your neck a little bit. Just keep moving, because our joints, they self lubricate as we use them. So just think about moving all your joints on a regular basis. So we're not even talking just about physical fitness, but just about well-being of our bodies, keeping our bodies, fine-tuned, keeping them lubricated, keeping them moving, keeping them movable, because when we move, the more we move, the more we're used to it, the more our bodies actually crave it. And that's the important thing. Of course, you want to be careful that you listen to your body, and be careful that you choose movements that feel right for you. If you notice that you're doing something and you're starting to notice some pain, maybe in your back or your feet or your knees or your hip, maybe what that exercise that you're recently adding into your routine might not be the right one for you. Or maybe you just need to be a little bit more mindful with with the way you do it. So this is when another good thing about exercise, it improves our circulation and it nourishes our organs. So keeping the blood pumping, keeping our lungs nice and healthy and strong, keeping our heart pumping, the exercise is so important. So I encourage you, for that reason alone, to exercise as often as possible, every day, every other day. And I know you do have so many programs again, but you can exercise on your own. You've got a beautiful, beautiful grounds out there. You can just go outside and just enjoy the beauty, and walk and go by the pond and see the beautiful gardens, and you visit your friends, and it's so friendly there. I remember being there, and it was just, I said I felt like I was in Disneyland for adults, for grown-ups. And everyone was so friendly and so nice and so pleasant. So I encourage you just to get outside. The fresh air is the best thing that you can give yourself, and walk. Even if you just walk a little bit, you don't have to walk far. You just have to walk as far as you can, as far as that feels right for you. And as you continue to do it, you will find that you'll get stronger, and you'll be able to do more and more over time. It also detoxifies the lymphatic system. So, our body, through different foods we eat, through, even pollution, through, things that we use in the kitchen, we drink water out of plastic bottles, and all these things put toxins in our body. And when we exercise, we're actually detoxifying. We're breathing fresh oxygen, we're detoxifying our lymphatic system, and we're releasing some of the toxins so that they can be released from our body, which also helps us to feel good. And that's another motivation to exercise and move. Another motivation is that it releases stress. It releases stress. So, how many of you know that when you go and do some exercise, you feel a lot better when you're finished? How many of you feel upset or even worried or anxious or stressed, and you exercise and then you finish and you just feel so much better? How many of you think about exercising? You're even stressed just about exercising. It's the last thing you think you want to do, but you push yourself to do it. And when you do it, you feel so much better, because stress, exercise, movement releases stress. And it also releases feel good hormones, so that it actually, you can get rid of some of the cortisol, but you can release good happy hormones that make you feel amazing. They'll make you feel good, just like smiling does too. So smile while you're exercising. You'll really be doing yourself a good favor.
Mhm.
Yes, celebrate your body with movement. Oh, another thing it does, it regulates digestion and elimination. So, even our stomach muscles need to be like worked and moved, and that helps to regulate that digestion and elimination. And that's also a really important thing. And there are 5 different types of exercise that you can do. And I encourage you, you try to do as many of them as you can. And one is strength training, and that is lifting weights, or you can even do some kind of strength training using your body weight. And I know you can use the machines that you have in that beautiful fitness center that you have there. So I encourage you to try to do that at least once or twice a week, or even maybe more. It's really personal. You should do what you enjoy above all, because if you enjoy it, you will continue. And if you continue, you'll be able to keep yourself in a really healthy routine, and you'll be in a place where you're keeping your body moving. And that's more important than forcing yourself to do things to make sure. I'm just mentioning all these different types of exercise because it's good to know and to try to touch on them as much as you can. If you like all of them, that's the best. That's the best. But it's still more important that you continue. If you like to walk and that's all you do, then I say walk away, keep on walking, do it because it's amazing for you. So strength training is one, endurance is another. Endurance is any type of aerobic exercise that would include walking. It would include, riding a bicycle. It would include stationary bicycle, any of the cardio equipment that you have in your fitness center. Um, Anything that uses major muscle groups also would be endurance training because you're getting your heart rate up. So any type of squats or anything using like your quadriceps, those major muscles will also get your heart rate up. Core conditioning is another one. So, core conditioning is also known as functional training. Core conditioning is really important for our balance. It's important for the strength. So, even to be able to get up from a chair and get down and sit and stand and move around, core conditioning is really important. And you can do this through, core conditioning classes. You can do it by doing abdominal exercises. Yoga has a lot of core conditioning. Pilates is a lot of core conditioning. And this is good to keep your body strong. Core conditioning works the whole trunk area, your back, your core, your abdomen, your chest. And this is also another form of exercise. And it really helps you with the things you do to function every day. When you lift something that's heavy, yeah, you need the bicep muscle, you need to strengthen your upper body, but it also helps to have a strong core. It protects your back. It protects you from hurting your back when you're lifting heavy things or bending over. So core conditioning is really, really important for you as well. Flexibility is, how that feels when we get tight and we get stiff. So, doing any type of stretches and flexibility for your body is also just great. I encourage you to do all of these things if you can enjoy it. But again, I'd rather see you do something than nothing. So, start with what you love. And if you're doing what you love and you're doing it for a long time, then I encourage you to add something else, and maybe one thing at a time, so that you can evaluate how your body feels when you're doing the new exercises and find a way that you enjoy it. If you find that something feels too difficult for you, change it so that it's not. So you can decrease the intensity, or maybe the amount that you're doing. So maybe if you're walking and it felt too hard, then maybe you would want to walk more slowly, or you could walk a shorter distance or for less time until you start to feel like you've conquered that, and then you can move on and do something a little bit more. So that's flexibility. And the last is balance. Balance is so important because it helps us to catch ourselves when we go to fall. And the last thing we want to do is fall. So working on balance, again, yoga class is a great way to practice balance. And again, you can also see Eric and Marcia and all the wonderful people that you have there in your fitness center, and ask them how you can work on your balance, because balance is really, really important. That you work on that, and you can begin with, you don't have to do difficult balancing poses. You can begin standing, make sure you have something near you just in case you need to grab onto it, and just lift one foot slightly up off the ground, and balance for as long as you can. Put it back down, lift the other one slightly off the ground, hold it as long as you can, place it back down. Then maybe lift it up a little bit higher the next time. Maybe open the leg out to the side. You can do simple things to work on your balance. And knowing that balance is never, this is just like in life, balance is never about being completely still and unmoving. Balance is always about kind of swaying a little bit one way and then pulling yourself back towards center, swaying a little. Sometimes we sway far and we have to really pull back, and that's what life is, right? In life, we sometimes get out of balance with maybe our eating habits, our exercise habits, our emotional well-being, but we bring ourselves back to balance. And that's what balance is also when you're standing in balance, knowing that when you feel kind of wobbly, that's normal. That's what working on balance is. It's all about just bringing yourself back to center. I also want to encourage you to move your spine. So the spine is the place in our body that holds the most tension. We hold a lot of stiffness in the spine. We hold a lot of, our spine is holding us up all day long, and it's just held there in the vertebra of the spine. So the spine moves in 6 different directions. And this is something that we do in yoga. We cover all of those directions of the spine, but you can do this in your chair. And the 6 directions are basically only 3 directions going both ways. So it's easier to remember that way. So it's moving your spine forward and back. So if you just want to maybe do that with me from your chair, so you can scoot up to the edge of your seat. Let's just move the spine in 6 directions. So moving up to the front of your seat, you can just inhale as you arch your back, and then exhale, round out your spine. Exhale, coming back. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, coming back. And as you do this, I bet you can feel the tension that's there and actually being released as you move. So it's forward and back. And you'll find that after we do this for just about a minute with all 6 directions, you're going to feel a lot lighter and better. So now those are 2 directions, forward and back. Another 2 directions are side to side. So you can just stretch from side to side. You can reach your arm over, side to side. Breathe with your movements. And then the other is twisting. So we're just going to twist from side to side. Twist, twist. And now inhale, reaching up. Exhale down. Beautiful. And now just for the cervical spine, we're just going to roll our neck. We just rock your head to one side and to the opposite side, and just bring it side to side. And circle, circle the other way. And then let's have a nice big inhale, reach up. Exhale down. Roll your shoulders back. Doesn't that feel good? We're moving. See, I just encourage you to move your body whenever you can. If you're watching TV, move your body. If you're talking on the phone, move your body. If you're on your computer, take a moment and move your body. Just move in any way that feels good. Keep yourself moving. And I have a smile. I made something up called Smile. And these are things that you should follow when you want to start an exercise routine if you're not already exercising. And the first is S for smile. And that would be see your doctor first. So if you haven't exercised at all, I encourage you to see your doctor, make sure that you're physically in, good condition to be able to move forward and try something new. And the second one is M for smile. In smile, monitor your heart rate. And this does not have to be a scientific way of monitoring your heart rate. There are many formulas that you can use. You can have a heart rate monitor, but you can monitor your own heart rate just by paying attention to what they call the rate of perceived exertion. So notice how you're feeling when you're exercising. You want to be exercising to a place where you do feel like your breath is a little bit heavier than normal, so that you're getting your heart rate up and you're moving and you're creating change. But you want to make sure that you can speak. You don't want to be exercising to the point where you're gasping for air and you can't breathe. Then maybe your perceived rate of exertion would be higher. Like that might be like an 8 or a 10. But you want to be around like somewhere between maybe a 5 and a 7, someplace where you feel your heart moving, you feel your heart beating, you feel your breath changing. You might be perspiring a little bit, but when you get to a point where you can't speak, then you know you're going just a little bit too far. So just perceive your own exertion, monitor your heart rate, and make sure that you're working in a place where you feel, like you're exercising, but you're not doing anything that's dangerous to yourself. That's monitor your heart rate, M. And now for the I, integrate one exercise at a time. Integrate one new exercise at a time. So the reason you want to do this is so that you can monitor your body and how you feel. You can add one exercise, and if you find that maybe you're feeling, a certain amount of soreness is normal and actually a good thing, because your muscles are waking up and you're using them in different ways that you haven't used them before. So a certain amount of soreness you can expect. And when you feel sore, be proud that you worked hard. Go back and do it again, because the more you exercise, you will get that blood flowing to those areas and you'll be helping that soreness to alleviate. But if you feel pain in your back or your knees or your hips or your feet or something like that, you'll know that what you're doing may be not the right exercise for you, or maybe the intensity was too strong or too high. So implement one exercise at a time. Notice and pay attention how you feel. And once you feel like you've really accomplished that, you're comfortable with that, and you want to move forward with it, or maybe you don't, that's up to you. Then you can implement another exercise. So that's the I in smile. And the L is for listen to your body. Above all else, listen to your body. Only you know what you're feeling. You might be taking an exercise class and everyone around you might be doing something, and you might think, well, everyone else is doing it, so I should be doing it. But something in your body is telling you, ouch, this hurts. This isn't right for me. Or, my heart rate feels too high, or my back hurts when I do this. Then listen to your body. No one knows what you're feeling inside your own body. So listen to your body. And the last one is the letter E, and that's for enjoy. Enjoy your exercise. Exercise because you love it. Exercise and find a way that when you move, you just feel so good, so that you want to go back and do it again and again and again. Exercise with friends, exercise to music that you love, exercise in nature, whatever it is that makes you feel good and happy and it brings you enjoyment. Do that, because it's so important that you enjoy your exercise, you enjoy your life, so that you continue to do it and keep yourself healthy and in good shape. So that's it for smile. See your doctor, mentor your heart rate, implement one exercise at a time, listen to your body, and enjoy. So I encourage you to exercise, move your body, enjoy your exercise, enjoy your time that you spend for yourself, with yourself, and moving your body. So let's open up a little bit for questions. I would love to know what you are doing for exercise right now and where you feel you can improve, or you feel like what you're doing is great. So let's hear from you.
Okay, guys, at this time, I'm going to go around with the microphone so you can ask your questions for Miss Melissa. I'm going to, excuse me?
I say, if you come with that, then we can talk.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. Does anyone have any questions for her?
Or any comments? No, she was asking what exercises we do.
I would love to hear from you, but I also would love questions. If you have any questions, ask away. It's an open-ended conversation.
Hi, I'm Jane, and what I've found is, especially perhaps as a response to the pandemic, I've had time on my hands, and so it's been a great time for me to really develop an exercise routine. So at 7 in the morning, I do Tai Chi with Russell, one of the residents who's there every day, 365, to lead a Tai Chi experience of about 30 minutes. And then after that, a few of us stay and do some strength building. push-ups and sit-ups and jumping jacks and a sort of about 20 minutes of that sort of thing. And then I walk, and then I try to go to aerobics or Pilates. And so with the gift of having time as a retiree has been that I can do this kind of thing. And I can feel my body being stronger and stronger.
Thank you so much. Did you say your name is Jane? I'm sorry, I didn't hear your name.
Yes.
Jane, okay, good. Jane, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I commend you because you really made great use of your time and you decided to do something good for you. And I want to applaud you for that. And I also want to thank you for sharing with everyone how you feel. So you're feeling stronger and stronger and you're feeling better and better. And it just makes you want to do it more and more, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
What's your favorite exercise?
It's hard to say what's the favorite. I have really enjoyed Tai Chi. It's a whole different experience. And I've learned a lot about myself and about my body. And actually, I've just had an experience of validating what I'm doing. I have spinal stenosis, and I was really suffering from sciatica. I was away for a month. And I dropped my routine. I didn't do Tai Chi daily. I did it on occasion. I did. I wasn't doing the strength training. I wasn't doing sit-ups. I wasn't doing bridges. I wasn't doing some of the things for the core. And I started really having severe sciatica pain. So when I came back, I had talked with my doctor about getting an MRI, and it confirmed the disc problems throughout my lumbar area. And I had wanted to get into physical therapy. But when I came back to the routine of Tai Chi, strength training, core work, the pain has completely disappeared. I have no pain.
That's
So
wonderful.
I guess you asked what's my favorite.
Yeah.
It's the combination, I think, particularly of Tai Chi and core work.
Thank you so much. Oh, go ahead.
And then in addition, the place we're in is so beautiful that walking is also very delightful. So I'm feeling like I'm in a routine and I have the time to devote to it. So it's all of the above.
Jane, you're an inspiration to all. Thank you for sharing that. And what wonderful news that your pain has disappeared simply by moving your body and exercising. Isn't that amazing? Thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much. That's wonderful.
My name is Nikki.
Hi, Nikki.
And what I find with exercising is it makes me feel so much more energetic. I'm better to live with.
Hold up closer to your mouth.
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Put your face up.
We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you. Yes.
Good. I said I find exercise does help you lift your spirits. It makes you more happier with a lot of things going along. You can deal with a lot of problems that you have because if you're exercising, it lifts your endomorphs. And so I'm much better to live with, and my husband will tell you that. So I really enjoy. So we use the facilities here. We go to the gym 3 times a week and we walk every day. And unfortunately, you can't do the sport that you usually do these days, so you have to improvise.
And you're doing that. Yeah.
It does help your general living.
Nikki. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry. It's so hard for me to see. I can't see when you're still talking because I can't see you from, I'm only from this side. Please finish. And I'm so sorry for interrupting you.
I'm done.
Oh, Nikki, I think that's wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. And you're so right. It absolutely does lift our spirits and releases those feel-good hormones in us so that when we exercise, we feel good and we just feel better about life and everything that's going on around us. And it's funny that you mentioned your husband noticed. My boyfriend says the same thing about me. Now, I think I'm nice all the time, but he says he notices that I'm so much nicer after my yoga class. There's just something, there's that level of something just falls away when we exercise and move our bodies. So even that alone is motivation to exercise each day.
And also, if you do it together with your husband, then elevates his feelings too, so you can have a better relationship.
Yes, yes, all the way around. First of all, you're sharing it and you're doing something great together. And or maybe that's secondly, I don't know, they're both really great outcomes, but that you're also, both of you are releasing that stress and creating feel-good hormones and just bringing happiness to yourselves by moving and doing all of that. So that's wonderful. Thank you for being such an inspiration, Nikki, and sharing your story about your exercise.
And thank you for you being here. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much for sharing. Anybody else have anything else would like to share?
Okay.
Well, I certainly approve of everything that you said, and we just need to take it to heart and do it. I'm missing things at the moment. I'm missing, let me put it this way, I'm missing the kind of exercise I like at the moment because we dug up our old pool and threw it away, and we've got 2 new pools coming. And it's going to be another month, I believe, before we'll be able to be swimming in them. But I swim every morning.
Wonderful.
Usually a half an hour every morning. And it just makes your whole body feel so good. And I say I'm really missing it with these pools being tied up now. So we don't have any pool to exercise in. But certainly what you said is all true. And if we think about it and think about applying it to our own bodies, we know that exercise makes a difference.
Yes. What is your name?
Hugh.
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 Thank you, Hugh. Thank you for sharing that. And you're absolutely right. It makes you feel so good. It does. And I want to encourage you right now in this time, just like people who during quarantine, we kind of had to find out what other things we enjoy that make us happy, that we're stuck in our home. I encourage you right now that you're stuck out of the pool to find something else you enjoy. It's always good to have a backup exercise. It's always good to have a secondary exercise. So even though it's only a month away, rather than waiting that whole month, I encourage you to find something else that you enjoy, even if it's not as much as you enjoy swimming. Find something else that you like too, and do that between now and when your pool opens up again.
We have an exercise class at 11 o'clock, Monday through Friday. And I try to make sure that I am there every day. And there's no less than 10 that's come, which makes me feel terrible because they all ought to be there getting some exercise. But we do have a class that is exercise every day, except Saturday and Sunday. Now,
That's wonderful.
Whether you were aware that we had a class or not. But,
yeah. I know that you have a lot going on there. I just wasn't sure what you were taking advantage of, but that's wonderful. And I'm so glad to hear that you're doing it and enjoying it because it's important. And I'm just so glad that you're doing that. Thank you, Hugh, for sharing.
Welcome.
My name is Julio, and I go to the gym every day, including Saturdays. Sundays, I walk about an hour. Some people say, oh, you're doing too much exercise, but I have the energy. I don't feel tired or anything. Should I continue to do that or take days off to rest?
I think you can continue moving as long as you like to. You know, they say rest if you're doing like heavy weightlifting or something like that. But when you're walking and doing cardio, and Sunday, if you're walking, that almost is like a rest day, believe it or not. It's great that you're walking. And if you have the energy and you want to keep doing it, keep on doing it. If your body feels good, then don't ever stop. That's my advice to you. And I think I told this story last time, but about my mom. And, you know, my mom used to say, you know, I worked in a retirement community for many years and I watched people and I watched the ones that kind of rested and laid back. And I'm not saying one day of rest is going to do this to you, but there were the ones that said, you know what, I've spent my time, I've worked, I've done so much, and now it's my time to relax and I'm just going to lay back and that's it. And I thought to myself at first, you know, they're right. They worked hard their whole life. I see, you know, it's time for them to lay back and relax a little bit. They deserve it. And unfortunately, I saw these people literally deteriorate in front of my eyes. Their health went, they started to lose even their faculties of their mind. You know, once they're not being, involved and moving and staying active, everything just starts to deteriorate. And I watched that happen. And I knew I had some residents who were over 100 years old and they were in great shape because they were walking every day. I remember this one woman, Dory, I just adored her. And every day after dinner, she would go to the ladies' room and fix her lipstick and get ready to play bocce every night. And she was just remained active and enjoyed herself. And you know, I had another woman who turned 100 and she was walking every day and she was in wonderful shape and she could walk faster than I could. You know, she was a real walker. So you know, my mom used to say to me, Melissa, you do too much. You need to rest. You're going to run yourself into the ground. And I used to think maybe my mom is right. And my mom used to rest quite a bit. And then I watched my mom sadly deteriorate and she died at a very young age of 70 years old. And her advice was rest. So I'm not saying that you should never rest. Rest is very important. Sleep is important. It's important to take a nap if you need a nap. It's important to rest your body when it's tired, but you don't want to spend your life resting. And it's important that you exercise and move. And if your body feels like you want to exercise and move, then I encourage you, by all means, keep on moving as much as you're enjoying it.
Thank you.
Thank you. What's your name again?
Julio.
Julio. Thank you, Julio.
Thank you.
Keep on going. You got this.
My name is Jean. I've had a terrible time because I broke both my hips, so I cannot walk without a walker. But I make a point of before I have my breakfast, after I'm dressed, I go outside and I walk for at least 10 minutes. And that is probably the best exercise I do every day, although I try and do the exercises at the fitness center because they have quite a few that you can do sitting down, strangely enough. And so that's how I managed to do it. And I miss the pool terribly because with the pool, I can walk in the water, not on the water, but in the water. And I used to do for half an hour in the morning, and that really is the best exercise. But soon we'll have it back, I believe, so only a month to go. Thank you.
What is your name?
Jean.
Yale,
Jean.
what did you say?
Jean.
Jean, that's wonderful. I want to commend you because, you know, you broke your hips and you're in a lot of pain, and a lot of people use that as an excuse not to do anything and, you know, to just lay on their couch and wait until they feel better, which sometimes may never happen, especially if they're not moving and doing anything. So you've found different ways to move. And yes, I was going to recommend before you said it that you walk in the water, not on the water, but in the water. I love that sense of humor too. But yes, that's wonderful. And you know what? I know that you all miss your pool, but I bet it's going to be well worth it when it comes back. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely amazing. And I look forward to hearing that you're back in the water and doing all the things that you love to do, keeping your bodies moving. The water is a great, great place to do exercise because it just takes the body weight, you know, off. So it takes the impact off, and you can walk in the the water, you can run in the water, you can do aerobics in the water, you can obviously swim in the water, and you're doing the seated exercises, which is great because you can do your strength training from a seated position, you can do core strengthening from a seated position, you can even work on some flexibility from your seated position. So more power to you. I think that's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing how you overcame your ailments and your pain, and you pushed yourself and you did it. And I'm sure you feel much better because you have.
Oh, yes, and I did all the exercises that they gave me from the fitness center when I was doing therapy that I can do in the water. I can do these exercises in the water. And of course, you can't do them up because you might fall over. But, once I get back in the water, I can do all that.
Wonderful, wonderful. Congratulations. And thank you so much for sharing that. You are an inspiration. You all are. I knew I was talking to the choir today.
I think that's it for our presentation. Anyone else have anything to add?
I said something before about our new pool. We're going to have 2 new pools.
Wow.
One is larger, quite a bit larger than the one we had, and that will be for the lap swimmers and people like that. The other pool is smaller, but it's for those people that want to go in and exercise and jump up and down and walk a little bit in the shallower water and so on. So John Knox is doing some good things, and we're looking forward to get them completed so we can use it.
Well, yeah, and they are doing some amazing things, and I'm so happy for you that you're there. And I know that they have your best interest at heart for sure. And I know that you also have your best interest in heart. That's why you're here. That's why you're exercising. That's why you're taking care of you. And I want to just congratulate each and every one of you for doing such good things for yourselves. Keep it up.
This is Julio again.
Hi,
Also,
Julio.
when they open the swimming pool, we're going to be taking water aerobics.
Wonderful. That's perfect. The nice thing about the water aerobics is I teach water aerobics here in New Jersey. The nice thing about the water aerobics is it's a real social time for people too. They get in the water, they jump up and down, they're talking, they're laughing, and that's also a really good thing. So I hope you enjoy. Congratulations on all your new pools. And before we know it, they'll be finished, I'm sure.
Wait, okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Melissa, for coming and speaking to us. We very much appreciate it.
Thank you. What's your name?
My name is Rashid. It's my second week here, actually.
Well, Rashid, it's nice to meet you, Rashid. You did a great job. Thank you so much for everything that you did to facilitate today. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Keep on moving and don't ever, ever stop. And come back and see me next week. Bye.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you, Yael.
Just so everyone knows, the next time that we have Melissa will be next Tuesday at 2 o'clock. So please join us again.
I hope to see you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye. You too.